and really just highlight what's going on with this black fatigue here lately. It's just gotten to an all-time high of which the likes we haven't seen in quite a long time. So I'd like him to actually introduce himself, kind of let us know like how he came up and what he's all about here.
Yeah. So my name is Chance. I go on Instagram. It's CHANNSESSE. I worked in politics for the Republican Party. I was a good goy for quite a while. I tried working up the ranks. I was the Young Republicans vice chair in my county. I worked on campaigns all the way from school board all the way up to the federal party. I actually worked for the federal Republican Party as well. Yeah, and so I was trying to be a political consultant. I raised money, all types of things, and then I started my own podcast, started talking about the Jews, and got fired and expelled from the party. So now I am doing everything I can to work my way back in. And that's my story.
And he's he like I said, guys, he's a huge up and coming figure in the America First movement. You really have to keep your eyes out because we are starting to collaborate here together. We're going to be doing these shows more often. We're going to be, making it a more consistent thing. And we were talking on his show about how we both used to support Trump at one point, but we literally got to our breaking point. And Chance, what got you to your breaking point with Trump?
Same as you. Epstein Files was the final straw. A few things before that definitely was watching Nick Fuentes and kind of going, oh, he has some points. But then when he says, you guys were never my followers and you're idiots and you're falling for a Democrat hoax, that's what I meant. Okay, sayonara. That's it. Final straw. Can't support somebody that says that. Nope.
Yeah. That's where I got to my point, my breaking point as well. I'm just sharing this out on the Discord real quick.
Okay.
So we can try to get more people in here.
So I'm going to make sure my live is going good on my YouTube. Make sure it's working correctly.
Let me make sure I'm in the right chat here. Okay, here we go. Everyone. Me and Chance are live on Rumble. Come join us. We could use your... We are going to be reacting to clips on Instagram and talking about black fatigue. All right. That's been sent out. Let me share it in the Telegram too. I'm going to share it out in the Telegram. I'm going to share it out in the Discord. I'm going to share it into the group chat on Instagram. See how many people we can get to come in just off of a whim.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm kind of curious to see how many people we could pull in without really announcing anything or preparing. I'm sure we could get a lot of people to come in here. It wouldn't surprise me, or at least a decent amount,
And where could we watch this live on your end?
I'm going to send you the link real quick.
Okay. I'll post it on my Facebook or my Instagram. I'm sure some people will join.
I'm going to put it I'm going to send you a direct link actually on Instagram. Let me know if you got it. You should be able to just copy and paste it. And then let me put it on Telegram.
Okay, got the link.
All right, so guys, smash that like button. Apparently we have Chance, I don't know if you know who this woman is, but well, you probably are not going to know who she is actually. But basically, there's this woman on TikTok that I was beefing with for calling out for being very, very pro-Israel and against the America First movement. And she's very Jew-owned, operated, and controlled. She's very just very unintellectual. And she's apparently live streaming us right now on her end. Somebody said in the chat. And I don't know what's with this woman. She's like got a bone to pick with me. She's like obsessed with me. And we basically found out that she was doing porn at one point. And so I've noticed this as a trend. A lot of these OnlyFans girls try to, transition from, doing porn, and they try to transition into politics. And you see this all over quite a bit. And it's very concerning to me, because would you really want your children or your families to be impressionable by somebody like this? Would you want them to really take somebody like that as a role model? I just don't think you would. I think you would want to take somebody as a role model who is going to represent, themselves in a a respectable manner, with virtues, and somebody who's actually going to stand up for the America First movement, and put America only at all times. And that includes calling out Jewish influence. That includes calling out AIPAC, which is just only the tip of the iceberg at this point. The main issue is Jewish influence, and it's controlling and reshaping our American politics in a vast way. So we have to do something about it. And the only way we're going to be able to do something about it is if we talk about this more and more and bring it to the forefront and put the spotlight on it. Because we are up against some evil, evil, evil people here, of which the likes we've never seen before. And it's good versus evil. Good and evil at a just time we've never seen before in quite some time. And it's just everything, including this demonic, trans LGBTQ bullshit and all this gay faggotry that's going on. That is literal demon possession, and they're trying to push that onto our children and our kids. And it's very concerning. We don't want our kids growing up, pulling on to some of these behaviors and learning these behaviors and learning these things, because they're going to shape future generations to come and this nation as we move forward. It's just like the minute we start allowing these things to continue to happen, there's never going to be any room to operate fully as a country. So I don't know if you wanted to chime in, but apparently she's live streaming us. So apparently we have an audience tonight.
Yeah, I would just say to her, if she did porn in the past, she probably has this idea that, pornographic stuff is not evil, it's not bad, and that, yes, of
Right.
course, young men can get attached to it and be addicted to it, but the benefits that she's going to get out of it, the financial benefits, is worth it, and it's not that bad for them, and it's not something that's going to cause harm to anyone or our nation. If she is someone, I think maybe we could agree on one thing, is that hopefully she loves America. I mean, maybe not, maybe she doesn't love America, but let's just assume for a second that she wants the best interest for America and she is an American citizen. We could start there. Now, let's talk about, well, you want to go down the route of using your body to make money from pornographic stuff, right? And you maybe buy your house with it, your car with it, whatever you're doing. But what is the detrimental effect that it's having on the youth when you do things like that? When you contribute to the Jewish owned porn machine that is the OnlyFans, browsers, and many other different porn sites? Well, it affects the youth's mind, especially particularly men, because every aspect of our biology is geared towards being sexually satisfied, towards finding a woman and procreating. But if we short sell ourselves by going and getting online and seeing these photos of women in the way that you're offering them, it can really dampen all of America. And we've seen that happening. If you look at the research that's being done on birth rates and everything else, it's dropping dramatically. Now you're probably going, yeah, that's great because men aren't giving me rights and I'm not as powerful as men. So I want to be like a man. I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to go out, sell my body and make money. And yeah, it's causing our birth rates to tank, but I don't care about that because all I care about is myself. That's not how you be. That's not what a leader does. That's not what someone who loves America does. That is somebody who's self-serving and is selfish. And I'm not going to go into the whole biblical background and things like that because I'm guessing you're probably not Christian. You probably hate Christianity. But that's kind of the reasoning behind why people like us, America First, we see that, look, our birth rates are down. We want the nation to do good. The nation is going to do good when our birth rates are up, not down. We want to survive. So I hope you can, come to common ground on that at least, and maybe see our point of view.
Well, what happened here essentially is so this bozo woman, which by the way, I think hey Millie, I think you need to take Nick Fuentes' advice. And here's what I would say, a quote that you could live by in other people. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be in prison for the most part, and we would live in paradise. You should take that and you should run with that, because women shouldn't have, in my opinion, any place in any kind of a political role or any speaking. We don't want to hear from you. We don't need you when it comes to that. Just do what you're best at. Take care of the fucking family. Take care of the kids. Make the kids. Get in the kitchen. Make us some dinner. And that's all you should be doing at the end of the day. You should not be opening your mouth up and saying anything political, because you don't really have any business in doing that. Just leave it to the men, because, that's what we're here to do. We're here to lead.
Yeah.
We're here to lead at the end of the day. We're here to be role models. We're here to represent, what this nation really stands for at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that is strength.
I guess I can also add in, since she's live streaming us to, I'm assuming, her audience, and I don't know how big her audience is, but it also kind of makes you look, it's also embarrassing to yourself. And you may think, how is it embarrassing to myself? Look at all this money I have, or whatever the things you're getting out of it. But here's why it's embarrassing. We constantly say, we know that on the right is mostly men and on the left is mostly women. And then you ask yourself, why is that? Well, the feminist movement and other aspects is why. But men, we always say that there's an intrinsic difference between men and women. And that's why men need to be in positions of power, not women. And this is a prime example why. You're in a position of power, and look what you're doing. You're putting everyone behind you in a dumpster. While our country's birth rate is declining. You're propagating things that are evil and bad for us for your own financial gain. Whereas men on the right, we want what's best for America. And what's best for America is traditional values, is Christianity, is loving the Lord, and not just taking in money at the detriment of everyone around you. This is a prime example why women just like you don't need to be in positions of power. And you never will be, because no one's ever going to trust you.
Absolutely. And that's the thing I'm noticing about this TikTok movement here recently, is a lot of these people are just doing it for the money at this point, purely and strictly. They're not doing it because they actually want to see America change in a positive manner or positive light. Because if they wanted to, they would be talking about the things that are not very popular to talk about right now. And that would be primarily the Jewish influence going on in this country that is running everything, from the entertainment industry to Hollywood to our politics, just everything in general. And I don't see people doing that right now. I see a lot of these people glazing Trump. And look, we all supported Trump at one point, but at some point you have to draw a line in the sand, and you have to do what's right, and you have to stand up for what's right. And standing up for what's right is not supporting a man who is trying to bury the Epstein files, who could have released the files anytime he wanted to. And And I hate people that say, oh, there's legal procedures behind it. Well, there is somewhat, but at the same time, Trump actually signed in the Epstein Files Transparency Act 25 of this year. And basically there was safeguards enclosed in there to protect the victims. But there's nothing in there that says that he can't go after the perpetrators, the high profile names, the high figures, like the Bill Clintons or the much bigger prominent names. He could release that today. And the day that he said about MAGA or people that support him, that if they continued to talk about this, they were idiots, they're dumbasses, basically, they're no longer my supporters. You should have drew a line in the sand there, because you should be doing what's right for this nation, and you should be standing up for what everybody should be standing up for, and that is transparency. And that is putting America first. And secondly, Donald Trump didn't collude with the Russians. Donald Trump colluded with the Israelis in 2016. And this is all an excerpt. You can go check this out. This is James Bamford's book called Spy Fail. Anybody can go look at this. And it explicitly states in there that it was the Israelis behind him the entire time. At the time, Barack Obama had put the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, into place. Okay. And this was to scuttle Iran's nuclear deal, right? With uranium. And so the second Trump gets into office, well, what happens? He undoes that. And this is right before Benjamin Netanyahu goes down to Congress and he complains about it. He's furious. Okay. He gets like 34 standing ovations from Congress. And dude, they are fucking going crazy. The Israelis, the Jews. Trump comes in day one, pulls us out of that, pulls us out of the JCPOA. And that's the thing about forever wars. We've been seeing this for a very long time. Iran, the whole 9 yards. So we're just sick and tired of it. We're done with it. We want to put America first. We want to put America only. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we actually take a stand up against what's going on here. And we don't want Jewish influence affecting and reshaping American politics. We don't want people who are a part of AIPAC funding these politicians, because what happens at the end of the day is these people end up putting Israel's interest over America's interest, and we're done with that. And you could look down the entire line. Why is Donald Trump shearing away from Marjorie Greene? Wasn't she more America first and pro-Trump than anybody? And he's basically pulling support away from her to endorse people like Lindsey Graham and Randy Fine. What the fuck is that about? These are two people who have taken tons of money from AIPAC, and we're sick and tired of it. We're not standing for that anymore. And if you're truly America first, you won't stand for it either. We're done with Trump. MAGA is dead. It's time to move on. He doesn't even have enough time to get done what he should have got done a long time ago. And he's been at this for 10 years. Have we actually really seen any arrests? Have we seen any people arrested for their wrongdoing? Have we seen, Joe Biden in handcuffs? Have we seen Barack Obama in handcuffs? Hillary Clinton? All these people? Fuck no. Trump doesn't care. He only cares about lining his pockets and not doing what's best for America. Exactly. What do you think, Chance?
And you know what? What's crazy about it, too, is if you're listening to this and you're kind of still on the Trump bandwagon, you're like, well, he's fighting for us in some ways. No, he's not. He is lying to us all. He has lied to us time and time again. He is a salesman. He is pitching us something that does not exist. He goes in with the military. He says, I called him up. I said, what needs to be done? And they told me, well, sir, we need to get this done like this. And he goes, okay, do it. And he goes, wow, sir, I'm so surprised. I never expected you to do what I want. And then everyone goes crazy. Oh, that's just what needed to be done. It's that simple. No, it's not. Because when it comes time to where his Jewish donors need something, he will kill us. Literally, he will send us out to die. And he does not care.
He's going to send your sons and your daughters out to die. Yes. Because they want to pull us into another war, okay? That's all this is about at the end of the day. This is all what Israel really wants at the end of the day. Israel wants a regime change in the Middle East. And they want to, excuse me, they want to control the Middle East altogether. They want to have a stronghold over it. They want to be the number one, power vacuum over there so they can do whatever the fuck they want. And if they would have been able to do it themselves, they would have done it by now. If they would have been able to do it by themselves, they would have done it by now. They need the backing of the United States of America. They can't get it done by themselves. And if you're truly a Christian, and by the way, I don't take the side of Gaza or any of those people in Palestine, right? But what I will say is this, is those people over there are people too. Those are children over there too. And if you're truly a Christian and you stand with Christian beliefs, you shouldn't be supporting, Donald Trump, who is working hand in hand together with the man Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, to bomb and kill children over in Palestine. Okay, that's what they're doing. And I don't support either one of them at the end of the day. I don't support Israel and I don't support Palestine. Fuck them both is the way I feel at the end of the day. But I will also call balls and strikes at the end of the day. I will call right from wrong, and I will assess the situation and give my take on it. But we should primarily be focusing on America and America only, and we should not be getting involved in any of that shit. And Trump is quite literally pulling us into, we've already been pulled into a war in Iran, actually. The minute Donald Trump decided to strike those nuclear sites, okay? He pulled us into a war. And they want to pull us into a war. Why? Because it makes money. They want to make money as much as they can without getting their own hands wet. So they're doing this with Venezuela now too. I've noticed Venezuela is now getting added into the mix. Apparently Trump has some Navy carriers over there on the coast, and they're doing like practicing and shit. We don't want to be involved in any of this shit. Just let it go. We need to focus on America, and we need to really get, a hold of this immigration problem. This immigration problem is very concerning. And Trump, your deportations, they're not up like you say they are. They're actually very low, at the lowest I've ever seen. And it's quite embarrassing. And I love the people that like to make an excuse up. Oh, well, he's got all these self-deportations. He's got about 2 million self-deportations. Really? Because last I checked, that doesn't really add up either. And we still have people throwing cinder blocks through the windshields of police cars and through windows of ICE transportation vehicles. So Trump, you could literally enact martial law right now. You could deploy 50,000 National Guards men and women across the nation of all 50 states, and you could have this problem resolved in less than a week. You could have all these illegals dragged out of here if you really wanted to, and you could also tackle the crime on top of that in these crime-ridden fucking areas like Chicago and like Los Angeles and like in New York and all over the nation, where crime is rampant and murder is through the roof. You could tackle both problems at once if you wanted to, but he's just trying to appeal to the base. He's trying to appeal to voters because they have the midterms coming up. It's not going to matter either way, though, because when the midterms do come up, here's how it's going to play out. Almost every single time this happens, if you pay attention to politics, the president that comes in at the time, okay, usually gets both the House and the Senate when they first come in. But when those midterms come around, they usually lose almost every single time. There's been a few occasions where they haven't.
Yep.
Right, one time in history. But for the most part, they lose. And with how unpopular Trump has become lately, and there being a split down the middle of the Republican Party and his base, there's actually a lot of people that are starting to recognize Trump's behavior and that he's not actually doing what he said he would do. And what you have right now is basically the pro-Israel, like glazed Trump, suck his dick types. Okay, they fucking parade him for anything he does. They hooray him on, and then you have the people like me and you who maybe we did support him at one point, but we don't any longer because we've woken up. We're not in a cult. We don't have cult-like mentality. And so you're starting to see the America first and the America only bumping heads with the pro-Israel, we love Israel, GOP establishment types
Country
that
club
have all the
conservatives
same
is what I
talking
call them.
points. So let me land my plane real quick. What I'm saying is this: Trump's going to lose the midterms, drastically. Unfortunately, this is going to happen. The Democrats are going to regain power in the House and the Senate, as much as I would not like them to. But maybe this needs to happen so people can fucking wake up and realize that these people that are elected in there right now, they don't actually have your best interests and they never give the fuck about you. So he'll lose that. And then by the time that happens, they're probably going to try to, impeach him and do whatever else. They're probably going to fail, most likely. But then they're going to come after us. And when Trump leaves office, well, what's going to happen? The establishment is going to regain power. I'm talking about the establishment before Trump came onto the political scene. They are going to reestablish power, and they are going to just go back to business as usual, where they're shaking each other's hands. It's already happening. Actually, it's happening right now. It's actually happening right. That's been happening. I don't think there's ever truly been any change in any of this shit. And I think they're behind the scenes shaking each other's fucking hands, and they're not doing a fucking thing. And they're laughing in our fucking faces about this shit. So we have to take a stand, and we have to fucking let these people know that we're not going to take this anymore. And it starts with you guys calling out these fucking fake Republicans like Milley and the older millennial, of which I called out. I called out 3 months ago. I called them out. I said they're shilling for Israel. They're shilling for all these other countries. This is, right after that campaign was launched with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Esther Project, where they were basically paying influencers every 25 to 30 posts to change the public opinion and the narrative of Israel and shift the narrative in the negative light. This was September 28th. This was launched. And what does older millennial do 5 days after that? He fucking starts talking about pro-Israel and the USS Liberty was an accident and, Israel's an ally. And then this Milley bitch, the same thing. And I had to call him out, and I took the hit. I don't give a fuck. I'm to a point where things need to be said that need to be said, first and foremost. And I'm not going to sit on TikTok fucking shilling around and being a pussy about it and fucking allowing people like that to get away with this bullshit, because then nothing will ever change. So, I'll take being permanently banned. I'll work my way back up. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I want to say what I want to say, when I want to say it, and I want the truth to get out there, most importantly. I don't give a fuck about TikTok. I don't give a fuck about TikTok's guidelines. And it's no wonder they banned me, because they're Jewish owned and operated by Larry Ellison. Go look up Larry Ellison. Go look up David Ellison, Jew. Go look up the Murdoch family, Rupert Murdoch, who's the founder of Fox News. Well, guess what? He was involved in that investment with TikTok as well. So was the CEO of Dell Technologies, the computer company, Jew. You have investment firms like Silver Lake, Jewish owned, run, and operated. They are trying to shut our voice down at any cost, and we're not going to fucking take it. We're not going to allow it.
Yeah, I mean, we could maybe go back a little bit, because I know there's probably some people on here. I'd like to just kind of go back to the Trump lies, right? Because people are still behind Trump, and hopefully maybe there's a few here that are listening. Let's just break it down and go through each one of the things that he's lied about, right? And I'll just mention it, Justin, and you can kind of give the background on it. So first, one of the biggest lies that he's told thus far that I'm really upset about is the H-1B visas. And the reason why it's so bad is because he framed it so hard that it was going to make it harder for Indians to get into America. I mean, literally. And he acted like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. We got to do this. What we got to do. We're going to charge them more. It was actually cheaper. Nick Fuentes broke this down on his show. But Justin, you want to give us kind of your perception of that lie that he told?
Yeah, so I mean, this all boils down to at the end of the day, he's wanting all these Chinese nationals to come into this country essentially under a visa program. And what I say about that is this: we have Americans here right now that are willing to do the fucking jobs. Fuck the Chinese, fuck them all. We don't need their help. We don't need them bombarding our country. Also, we don't want to become the minority years down the road. And that is coming if we continue to allow illegals to come in. I don't want any visa system. I don't want any lottery system. I want them all the fuck out because you have white men and women that are much willing to do the jobs that these illegals trying to come in here would want to do. And these white men and women also have college degrees. They have experience. The problem is this: is they're not willing to pay them what they're worth and what they're owed or what they're due. They would rather pay somebody else under the table that is not even going to do the job as good either because they don't even speak English, half of these people. So, I've witnessed it firsthand actually. And it's not just, it's not just big jobs these people are trying to come do. They're going to come in here and they're going to work at convenience stores like Walmart or Circle K or wherever. And, I experienced this myself the other day when I went down to Circle K to go get a vape. And there's some, Mexican woman in there and she's speaking broken fucking English. I can't even understand her. I'm trying to tell her to get me a vape. I have to pull my phone out and translate to her to tell her to grab it for me. Now, do you want that to fucking happen all over the nation? One, and two, do you want to become the minority in this country? Because it's eventually going to happen. It already looks like Costa Rica down in Miami, Florida right now. It looks like it in Los Angeles, California. And eventually what's going to happen is it's going to migrate all across the country and they're going to take over everything. Our culture, our language, our history is going to be once forgotten completely. You already see, liberals trying to remove historical statues and things like that. And it'll be a thing in the past. We'll lose things like the national anthem. We'll lose things like the Pledge of Allegiance, baseball, all American loved things. If we continue to allow any of these people to come in, they all got to go, and we don't want them in here.
Yep. So true. Pretty essentially, Trump sold it like as if the H-1B visa, which is a work visa for other people, coming in here he made it more expensive, but he didn't. He actually made it cheaper. He made it a one-time payment of $100,000 for 20 years rather than paying it every single year beforehand and at a cheaper price. It was way easier, and it ties the people that are coming here in the visa to one singular company. And then at the exact same time, he's funding tech initiatives, which are companies that help Indians, literally that are based in India, to come to America and to work for these tech companies to give tech companies cheap labor, like the Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and all these other people. And who was at Trump's inauguration? Who filled the seats all around Trump? All of these same people that would benefit from lying to our faces, going behind our back, and letting the Indians come in through the back gates. That's exactly what he's doing. Now, let's move on to something even maybe more egregious. No new wars. Do you remember him saying this? No new wars. Ukraine, it would have been over in one day. Now look, Ukraine has been given $230 billion. Well, since the start of it, I don't know. Trump, I think, has given 80 billion of that. That's a ton, or 71 billion. That's a ton. That's not stopping anything. And then he's sitting down with doing this whole WWE show with Zelensky and everything else.
It's true.
So tell us about the Ukraine situation in your opinion. What do you think? What do you think's going on there?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't even know why we're even getting involved in this, to begin with. Trump is complicit in this as well from his first term. When he was giving them the javelins, he even bragged about it. If you guys remember, he bragged about giving Ukraine the javelins. And so what I think about it is this, is Ukraine's front line is literally Swiss cheese right now. Okay. There was over 100,000 soldiers that deserted that entire area. And it is unrecognizable. Russia is winning that war hands down. And so when Trump comes out and he fucking takes the back of Zelensky, which by the way, disrespected this nation when he went to visit the White House completely. And Trump looked like a total pussy when he was doing that entire thing with them and JD Vance, because then he ends up, you know, caving in and working with them and working hand in hand together, talking about how he's going to get every piece of land back, and they better back down, and they better come to a deal. Well, what's happened with that? Absolutely nothing. They haven't adhered to anything. And I don't think he has the power to get it done. I think he thought he did at one point in time. But nothing's going to end up getting done with that. It's going to get much worse as time goes on. And I think this is like a much deeper, bigger issue at the end of the day. I think this ties into like the globalist elitist agenda, where they want all these nations fighting with each other, the deep state included. And so that way we get pulled into a war, which we're already getting pulled in Iran. And then they're going to try to pull us into the Ukraine, Russia. They're going to try to pull us into Venezuela. What eventually ends up happening is now we're in conflicts with all these countries, and now we're letting our guard down in our own country, and that gives these people the time to strike. And that's all they're waiting for us to be distracted with something else. It's always something that they want to come up and coming, so we can stay distracted. And they can make the most amount of money possible, because war brings money. And that's all this is about at the end of the day. And we recognize this in Iraq with George Bush, when he fucking pulled us into Iraq after 9/11. And we all know that fucker was behind that. Let's be honest. With all the information that's come out behind that, that is the thing about forever wars. They never end. And they got to make their money somehow, because these are corrupt people. They don't operate the same way. They don't deal the same way. So back to what you're saying about Trump is, I don't think he's going to do shit. I don't think he has the power to do jack shit. And if he does mysteriously somehow do it, I'm not giving him a pat on the back for it, because, he's totally complicit in helping with this to begin with in his first term. So until he starts to do the right thing, nobody should be supporting this guy. Nobody should be standing behind this guy.
Right. And guys, remember, when you go to the movie theater, if you don't see anybody in the seats of the movie theater, it's probably because the movie theater isn't doing too good. It's not making any money. Now, if you see all the seats are filled, then what does that tell you? The movie theater is doing good. They're selling tickets. Now, how does this apply to the military complex? Well, the second biggest lobbying out of all the industries that send money to our politicians to get elected and to lobby them, right behind Big Pharma is the military industrial complex. Raytheon, Grumman, all of these companies that have Jewish owners like BlackRock and Larry Fink, who also contribute to Trump's circle of politics. Now, the Ukraine versus Russia war, we have sent them tons of money. But where does that money go? That money goes into the pockets of the same people who are giving our politicians money to lobby them to go to war in the first place. We can clearly see it. This is why we're at war in Ukraine, because ideologically, Russia doesn't seem to be the bad guy, in my opinion. The majority of people who fled Ukraine didn't go to Germany. They didn't go to Poland. They went towards the bullets back into Russia. This is a big hoax. You want to talk about a hoax? This is a hoax. And it's a hoax for Donald Trump's Jewish daddies. That's who it is. Now, move on to something where Trump is kind of getting bullied. He's getting bullied on many different fronts, okay? We've seen the corporate tax cuts that he did. We didn't get the tax cuts that we were promised. Corporate tax cuts, of course. They're getting all types of tax cuts. And I'm not necessarily against all corporate tax cuts, but it's just the amount that they're getting compared to what we're getting is insane to me. And then let's go on to the tariffs. He talked all this big game about holding people accountable and fighting for the U.S. Guess what? He backed down. He backed down on everything. He got bullied and he backed down. Who did he get bullied by? Was it the Democrats? I don't think so. I think it was the people that given him money to have the success that he's having in politics. And we all know who that is. Now let's go to the recent debacle, which is really egregious in my opinion. He talked all this big game. He said, why do we need to get the Somalians out? Because they come from a shithole country. You said it, not me. And he says, why can't we get people from the Netherlands or from Sweden?
It's true.
Why can't we get
That is a
people?
shithole.
And then he does this. Ilhan Omar is still a Congress member in our country, by the way, after being convicted or investigated for scamming us for $300 million, her and her family, okay, and marrying her brother and everything else. She's still here. She has not been removed. Nothing is happening to the Somalians. They're not getting deported. They're still here. So all that talk about everything. Then he goes and says the stuff about Europe. Guess what? Now Europe they can't come to America right now. I don't know if you know this, but they're not able to. Starting January 1st, they're going to do a 5-year review of the social media accounts from Europe coming into the U.S., essentially stopping people from Europe coming into the U.S. entirely. And they want to make sure that they're not, going to be criticizing Israel and things like this.
I want to play this this video so the audience can see it. I don't know if a lot of our audience has even seen this video, but it's basically a video about Trump's rise to power and how he even got there. And I think it's a really good clip. I want the audience to see, and I think you guys are really going to like it. And it's going to open your eyes as well. And then there's another one I want to play after that. How many people we got in here? We got 17 people watching.
Oh, wow.
All right, so let's play this clip, and then me and Chance are going to discuss it. And let's see what we're working with here.
Go ahead, play the clip.
Happened before the 2016 election. Barack Obama created the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCP.
And make it bigger, actually. Let me see. Can you guys see it better now? Let me try to zoom it in. There we go. That's better. How do I start it from the beginning, though?
POA to enforce a
Can I not start this from the beginning?
nuclear last night. What had just happened before the 2016 election? Barack Obama created the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, to enforce a nuclear deal that restricts Iran's enrichment of uranium. The early talks were conducted in secret, and the Israelis were furious. They hated Obama. Netanyahu went to a joint session of Congress and gave a speech in defiance of the American president and its nuclear deal, and Congress gave 37 standing ovations. This is the background of Trump's first election. 2016 election happens. Trump gets elected with the help of the Israelis. You don't believe me? There's a whole article about it. It's an excerpt from James Bamford's book, Spy Fail. It goes into great detail about the hidden collusion in the 2016 election. It wasn't Trump and Russia. It was Trump and Israel. And why was Israel so hell-bent on getting a Republican elected in 16? To scuttle the Iranian nuclear deal. And that's exactly what happened. That was the ask.
The United States will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal.
In 2018, Donald Trump declares the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, which is the military of the regime, a terrorist group. Green lights that group for sanctions, for attacks. Now the United States is in a shadow war with Iran. It culminates by January 2020 in the assassination of Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani was the architect of the axis of resistance. Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, Soleimani built all of it. Are you starting to see? Obama had this solved. He made the deal. The Israelis hated him for it. They colluded with Trump to get him elected so that Trump would do maximum pressure and create a ladder of escalation, pulling us out of the deal, declaring the IRGC terrorists, then killing its leader, putting sanctions on the regime. This is a war that started a long time ago that Trump made hot in 2018. And it's been going on for 7 years. That's the nature of forever wars. Just like in Iraq, which went from 1990 until today, just like Libya, which went from 2011 to today, Syria, which went from 2011 to today, and Iran, which went from 2018 until today. That's the nature of forever wars. And if you're not paying attention to those underlying forces, you're going to fall for it again and again. You're going to be surprised and confused and coping over and over. And people are just tripping over themselves to do it again. What had
It's
just
true. It is so true. And you know, we're not falling for that shit anymore. We're not taking it. We're not, you know, standing behind Israel. We're not fucking gonna be pro-Israel. We're not fucking standing with those fucking rats. Fuck them. Okay. These are the same people, by the way, which, mind you, who don't even believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah. They believe in the Talmud, okay, which explicitly states that Jesus Christ is burning in shit in hell. They think he's burning in shit in hell. And these people are trying to take over our entire fucking country, and I'm not going to allow it. And neither is, you know, Chance. And neither are the rest of you guys. I know you guys aren't. So that's why we're starting to stand up to this shit. And, you know, that's why I give a lot of respect to people like Nick, because without Nick, are we really where we need to be right now at this current time? Absolutely not. Nick has broken through the Overton window. He's no longer staring through it. And now this conversation is mainstream like it should have been many years ago. And it's able to be finally talked about and focused on and put a spotlight on. And we're not going to stop. We're not taking our fucking boot off the neck, okay, of George Floyd. We're going to continue going even further until we get to the bottom of this and it stops altogether. We're done with Jewish influence. We're done with AIPAC. And we're done with all this fucking bullshit. These pieces of shit, which are the deep state and the globalists, are trying to pull us into. These forever wars, like Nick said, that's the purpose of a forever war. To pull us in and we never exit out. And they continue to make money, the United States government. That's all they care about. They're not focused on the bodies that get dropped or people's lives that get lost in the military. They don't give a fuck about any of that. And Trump literally pulled us into that in 2018, okay? He made it hot, like Nick said. We're not doing it anymore. We're fucking done. Fuck Israel. It's America first and America only, and we're not going to stop until we get to the top. And what you're going to see here moving forward, I'll land my plane, is all of these fucking MAGA people, which MAGA is dead, by the way, right now. If anybody still supports MAGA at this point, they're either just brainwashed or still in that cult-like mentality. But fucking actual regular people who have a fucking brain know what the fuck that guy's up to. And so, you know, we're going to turn this whole thing around here. And what you're going to see is all of these MAGA supporters and all of these fucking Trump lovers, they're eventually going to end up coming over to this side, America first. They're going to adopt the talking points. They're going to pick them up. They're going to have no choice but to do it because it's going to get so popular at some point that you're not even going to be able to even have a conversation without that getting brought up. And that's already happening now, by the way. All of these TikTok live streamers on TikTok, they're going to be nothing here in about, I would say, 6 months to a year. It's already starting to happen where people are calling this shit out and they're criticizing Trump for his fuck ups. And I don't give a fuck if I voted for him before. I don't give a fuck if I used to support him. My eyes are open now, okay? And I'm going to call this out as it should be called out because I'm not in a cult and I don't fucking adhere to any man but God, okay? I don't stand by any man and any man. I don't worship any man and I never fucking will. And neither should you. God comes first and foremost at all times, okay? God, okay? Family, country. God, family, and country. So.
Yep, so true. You know, it kind of reminds me of my work that I did in politics and kind of what I had to deal with. You know, there was these, what I would call country club conservatives. And they're all littered throughout the party, right? And the reason why they're in politics is because their parents are wealthy and they're trying to live up to they're trying to help their family lineage out in some way by getting involved in politics, because all you need in politics sometimes is just a little bit of your daddy's money. The problem with these people, this group of country club conservatives, is they don't know that it's hard to buy a house. They don't know what it's like to build a business coming from nothing into something, to be in the middle class, to deal with what we have to deal with. And then to make it even worse, we come on the scene and then we express our problems and we get canceled for it because we go, why can't we buy a house? Oh, I've identified the problem. It's because of BlackRock. It's because of the illegal immigration. It's because of all these issues. And the country club kids say, shut up. I'm doing a deal with them behind everybody's back so that way I can increase my own political value. And that is what Trump is doing right now. He is a country club, not even a conservative. His dad was rich. And yeah, he has business success. Good for him. He don't know what a regular American has to go through. He doesn't know that. These people are weak. They're cowards, and they're selling us out. The white ass niggas going hard as fuck are now standing up, just like Nick Fuentes, just like Justin, and we're saying, okay, what on your ass now? We're paying attention now because we can't buy a house now. It's hard to start a business now unless you hire a bunch of illegal immigrants to do all the work. We're done doing it. It's time to put America first, and more importantly, put American people first.
That's absolutely 100% correct. You hit the nail on the head. We need more white ass niggas going hard as fuck around here. I mean, you know, I kind of compare it to, you know, a very rare breed of species, right? You know, guys, you guys know how the bald eagles and all the eagles are going extinct, okay? Or there's getting less of them. There's less of them the more you look around. That's the same with white ass niggas going hard as fuck, okay? There's not a lot of us out there, but the ones that are out there are keeping it real with you and telling you like it is. Donald Trump is not a white ass nigga going hard as fuck. He's a gay ass nigga going weak as fuck. And he's done absolutely nothing to make this country prosper, to benefit this country. The only thing he's done is gotten on his knees and sucked the prime minister of Israel off aggressively. And, you know, the minute that guy doesn't like what Trump's doing, okay, he's going to cash in his chips. And you're going to see this country fucking crumble because he's made a deal with them, okay? And this all started in 2016. This guy fucking fooled us. Absolutely fooled us. And no, this doesn't mean we're fucking Democrats or we're fucking leftist faggots either, because they're faggots too, okay? What we're telling you here at the end of the day is both parties are two wings of the same bird, okay? And we want what's best for America first and America only, and we're going to stand with America first and only and all the people that actually believe in that as well. And we're done fucking giving in to another fucking shithole country like Israel all of our hard-earned tax dollars for what? What do we get in return for that? Our greatest ally? Fuck them. They ain't our greatest ally. What have we ever received from them? Have they ever actually helped us? Have they ever actually been boots on the ground in any of the wars that we've fought in our nation's history? Absolutely not. So biggest ally, my fucking ass. We need to be focusing on using those tax dollars to fix America and reshape America so every American can prosper moving forward. That is what it's all about at the end of the day, is you want to live the American dream. You want your family to thrive. You want to have kids. You want to have a big white house with a big white picket fence, okay? You want to be able to afford a car. But a lot of younger people our age, we can't afford any of that shit because of all the fuck-ups from these fucking boomers. These boomers have fucked everything up. And what you're going to see moving forward is, you know, Gen Z and millennials fixing this fucking problem that should have been fixed long a fucking ago. And like Chance said earlier, he had a reel that he did on Instagram where he was talking about the USS Liberty, okay? And he was saying that this would have never happened If the USS Liberty happened today under us, we would never allow them to fucking go unscathed or untouched. We would be fucking naming and shaming these people if you want to tell them about that.
Yeah, I just think that if USS Liberty happened today, it would be riots in the street on both sides. I mean, I don't think it would happen. And the boomers have the audacity to say that we're weak. It's like, no, you're weak. You're the ones who were brainwashed. You think they, I like my grandparents, they send me articles about like how social media is brainwashing you and all this stuff. It's like, wait. The news is the exact same thing, right? You've been brainwashed. At least social media has a bunch of different creators on it, and you can go in a million different paths and get, take whatever you see and try to get the best information out of all these different conclusions. Whereas the news has two narratives, CNN and Fox News. That's it, two. And so that's massive brainwashing right there. And then they have the audacity to say we're stupid and naive. But it kind of reminds me, I was watching a movie the other day of, it was Scarface. And when I forget what Scarface's name is in the movie, but he's coming up. Do you remember?
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana, of course. Tony goes to he says, hey, he does a deal and he says, I want to go see the distributor myself. And so he goes to the distributor and it's this fat guy. He's got a real hot wife. And he's sitting there and he's laughing, having a good time, thinking everything's good. And he's making deals and he doesn't have the business that, Tony would have if he was running it. But he has a semi-good business selling drugs. His wife comes down the escalator and Tony sees the wife and he sees the guy and the wife says, we're going to Rubens again, huh? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, well, man, if someone wanted to assassinate you, it would be pretty easy because you go to the same place every night. And he started laughing, like not taking it serious. But Tony didn't laugh. The girl didn't laugh. No one else laughed because they all live in the real world where you could get assassinated. They live in the real world where they also assassinate people. Whereas
True.
this guy is fat and happy in his castle and he's lazy. Tony comes in, runs the show perfectly and makes it flourish. So it's kind of like what's happening with Trump.
Yeah. Speaking of Trump and assassination, did we ever get to the bottom of what happened with that? That kind of just got swept under the fucking rug. And that whole entire fucking thing was insane that happened. And that was not investigated properly. I don't think Kirk's death was either. And I know a lot of people have been giving Nick flack about this and calling him a Fed. I don't think Nick's not a Fed by any means necessary. Nick has kept the same actual talking points for 10 years now. He's never switched up. He's never changed up. And also, Feds don't get deplatformed, debanked, or put on no flying list. And they also don't go to court on behalf of their lawyer and answer direct questions related to that. He was asked if he was working with the federal government. He answered no. But what I will say to that is this. Do I think there's something fishy looking about the whole Charlie Kirk assassination? Absolutely. Do I think Candace Owens is telling the truth? Fuck no. She's just an ignoramus negress who wants attention and wants to grift. I don't think she truly ever even cared. But there definitely are some irregularities in this case, to be exact. But it doesn't automatically mean the Jews did it or Israel did it. I still think we need time to play out and we need to see what's going to happen here. But that's the thing about high-profile cases like this and conspiracy theories. They start to grow, and then you start to feed the monster, and it gets bigger than you could ever imagine. But after the other night, Candace was fucking done, okay? She met with Erica Kirk privately, had a private meeting, okay? You don't have a private meeting unless a deal is being done or a deal is being struck behind the scenes, behind closed doors, okay? And she definitely got the call. She got the call. She took the money. And, this woman is an ignoramus. So is Ian Carroll. Ian Carroll is a fucking loser. This guy came onto the scene 2 years ago? And he got famous off of talking about Red Lobster conspiracy theories. That guy is questionable just as much, especially after being seen in a photograph with Roseanne Barr, which, by the way, both attacked Nick last week together. Okay. So, and lastly, Charlie Kirk, God rest the guy's soul, but at the end of the day, he was Israel's number one prized possession. So let's not forget that. So why would they take out their number one prized possession? Kirk was working with them hand in hand. Turning Point is still to this day and was then owned operated, and funded by Israel and Jewish donors. Okay. So let's not fucking forget that. Let's not forget Charlie Kirk never answering questions from Groypers when he gets asked questions about Israel or Jewish influence on stage. This guy definitely was okay in some aspects, right? We agreed with him on some things, but we take the America First approach and we stand 10 toes behind that and firm. We are nothing like Turning Point. And when Nick finally launches the America First Foundation, his 501c3 nonprofit, game over, because the America First Foundation is going to be what Turning Point should have been all along.
Yep.
So, and lastly, what is up with Erica Kirk bringing Nicki Minaj on fucking stage?
Yeah, that
Isn't
was
that
just
crazy?
insane. The biggest thing too is like I said it on my show the other day. It's like, they talk about the same people will talk about how DEI is a disaster. Look at who's on stage: Vivek Ramaswamy, Ben Shapiro, Erica Kirk, and now Nicki Minaj. Like, that's DEI. Why are
What
they in
is
those
this,
positions? Because they're like,
WWE?
oh, they're a woman and they're conservative, or they're black and they're a conservative. Can you believe it? It's mind-boggling. Let's
Yeah,
give
yeah.
them everything they ever
Some
wanted.
black
Let's
woman up
listen to
there
every word they
bobbing and
say.
weaving her head. Bobbing. Shit. Oh, shit. I just want to say, like JD Vance, he talked about the assassination. Oh, she didn't mean that. The internet is probably going to take this and they're going to run with it. But I love her and I love Jesus. Why would you ever mention that negress in the same sentence as Jesus Christ? She is totally fucking warped, gone. She is demon possessed, Nicki Minaj. Okay, I've seen her upbringing, everything. Okay, she's all part of that fucking demonic ritual bullshit, like a lot of these people in Hollywood.
Mhm.
I'm surprised she even showed up to the event, but she must be hurting for money that fucking bad that she had to show up to Turning Point, which is Jew-owned, operated, and funded. So Nicki is fucking pro-Israel, I would assume, if she's showing up to an event like that.
Mhm.
I bet you if you look at her background,
Oh,
she's
she is. Look at who
pro-Israel.
her manager is. Yeah, remember don't forget when Kanye West said sorry said sorry to the rabbi who tweeted and said, "That's excellent. I'm so proud of you, Kanye."
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
I noticed that. And we're sick and tired of these fucking Jews.
Yeah.
They need to fuck off. Get the fuck away from us. Leave
And the
us alone
blacks, the Jews and
completely.
go back to
blacks as well.
Africa.
Most of the blacks. There's some good blacks out there, but mostly there's not, though. There's a lot of blacks out there that are waiting to fucking stab you in the back of the head with a fucking pocket knife
Or in the neck.
or pull a gun out to you while you're getting in your car in the parking lot at the grocery store at 12 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock late night and fucking carjack you.
Yeah.
Okay?
They fucking hate us. They literally hate our guts. They want
they
to kill us. You
do.
know why they
So do-
kill us? It's
and
not,
the
the
Jews.
Democrats always say, well, the reason why they want to kill us and the reason rob and steal us because they haven't been getting the same opportunities as you. And so they have to do this. That is the
Yeah,
most line
bullshit.
of crock of crap bullshit
It's
I've ever heard in my
bullshit.
entire life. And that's why women do OnlyFans, and that's why black people do crime, because they hate this nation. If you look up right now, all of the different groups that contribute to our economy, okay, whites are the only group that are a net positive. Asians on small part, some of the Chinese people are a net positive because they have such a high income rate. But whites are the majority, even in the middle class. They make more than they pay into the system, more than they take. Blacks, Hispanics, all these other groups do not. Why is that? Because they don't care about the system. They don't care about the boat that they're riding on. They would prefer that the boat that they're riding on sinks and they go jump to another one. They're a destructive force. They're anti-American. Get them the hell out of this nation. Simple as that.
Also, guys, we had like 17 people in here. We had like 22 at one point watching. We got 15 people in here. If we can get you guys to smash the like button on the live, all you got to do is hit the thumbs up button. It's like just like you do on YouTube. Tap the repost button, repost the live, follow, most importantly. you can follow Chance if you guys want on Instagram. He's on Instagram primarily. He has a YouTube channel as well. If you want to follow him on there, he'll give
Paint
you
the
his
Town Red
socials
podcast on
here.
YouTube, and then Chance is it's just like how it's
Paint the
spelled
Town
here.
Red podcast on YouTube. We just did a show on there together. Go check it out. It was actually really good. And he's also on Instagram. What's your Instagram? CHANNSEE_. I put it in the chat earlier. You can also get me on Instagram. I'm under Real Justin Official, all one word. I put that in the chat. I post mainly like clips of Nick from his show. And so I'll be posting my own clips here moving forward. I'll be mixing the two together, coinciding them together. I'm just waiting a little bit because I did have to deal with almost losing the account the other night for no reason. Ended up getting it back. But, that's probably our biggest platforms right now. Me and him, we're on Instagram primarily. We also have a Discord server if you guys want to join it. I don't know if most of you guys are in here are already in the Discord, but the Discord's got almost 2,100 members in there, 2,100 Groypers, 2,100 America First supporters. And they're from all kinds of different backgrounds. We got people in there from like Turkey, all over the fucking place, but they love and support Nick, and they love America First. Obviously me and Chance, we're born and bred Americans. We grew up in America, born here, the whole 9 yards. But we do have a lot of other people that are across the country that, want to support the movement too, and they like what Nick's doing. So, we allow them into the group. But if you want to join the Discord, I'll put the link in the chat. Let me give you guys the invite link here. And I don't know who this guy is that keeps fucking commenting in the chat, but I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care if Millie is live. I don't care if Ryan is live. I don't give a fuck. I definitely don't give a fuck about Millie being live either. Let's not forget, this dumb bitch targeted my TikTok accounts with her fucking gay followers and got all my accounts banned permanently. That's why I'm not on TikTok anymore, because these fucking weirdo Jew-loving pieces of shit fucking targeted my accounts on there and got them banned because I was hot as a fucking pistol on there. Let's not also forget that I helped platform a lot of these fucking people. They wouldn't even be where they are today if it wasn't for me, because I had all the motion back then. Okay? But I could tell you right now, that motion will be coming back, because this is going to be a Monday through Friday thing. And we're eventually going to build this platform up. We're going to make it bigger and better than ever. And we're going to be unstoppable. Nobody's going to get in the way of what I'm going to achieve ever. I could promise you that. I'm going to get to where I need to go. And I'm going to go through whoever I have to go through. I don't give a fuck who you are. You will not stop me. You will not stop my fucking voice from being heard. You will not stop my message from getting out there. I will go through whoever I have to go through. And I would do it all over again. I would do it the same way on TikTok. I don't give a fuck. I would do it the same. I would still call out Jewish influence if I was on there right now. And I would be calling out influencers that are shilling for Israel. I will fucking be truthful and honest at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck if a platform wants to censor me or try to shut me up or stop me. It's not going to stop me from being honest and being who I am. So, if we have influencers on there that are actively engaging in pushing Jewish influence, I'm going to call that out. And you guys shouldn't even be supporting somebody like that. You should not be supporting somebody who's trying to silence somebody and shut them up. And she started with me. She came after me first because why? She got exposed for being a fucking disgusting porn star bitch who's showing her tits and her ass, and she's thinking she's doing karate. She's shadowboxing naked in a video. You think that is fucking, you think that's cool?
Is she hot?
You think that's cool? No, absolutely not.
She's ugly.
Dude, this chick is fucking hit. Absolutely hit.
Because you know there's something about liberal women where
and she looks like, a little off too. Well, she looks like she has a tinge of retardation. I think her kids are retarded too, if I'm not mistaken.
That's pretty typical for
God bless their souls, but you know, I guess that's what happens when you have a retard for a mother. It kind of like comes down onto the genes and out pops, you know, 2 kids, and now they have issues.
And your dad's not around, of course, and
I think he's in the military, but you know, if I had to assume, she's got to be cheating because you don't post videos like that on the internet when you have children. You don't fucking post fully nude fucking videos.
Well, I was talking about maybe like her dad as a child, because a lot of these liberal women, you know, they haven't been around alpha males or like good men at all. And that's why they are the way they are. And as soon as they see a man that acts like a man, they're in love. And that's why they hit us up on Instagram. Black girls and liberal women. Can you believe it? Makes no sense.
I just think it's really easy to jump onto what's popular these days or try to fit in with people. And I think that's what a lot of these people do when they watch these influencers that are like fake as can be. They just want a place to go to because their own lives are boring. They don't have anything to do in their own lives, right? So they want to feel like they're a part of something. But at the end of the day, you got to be asking yourself, do I want to be part of something that is actually, you know, not the right thing? Do I want to be a part of something that is going to quite literally destroy America all and all together? Do I want to be part of something that goes against Christianity altogether? No, you shouldn't want to. Because if anybody is supporting Israel or Jews, that's what you're getting behind at the end of the day. Let's not forget, these fucking people, they think Jesus Christ is burning in shit in hell. It's in the Talmud. Any of these Jews, they practice Judaism. They fucking literally stand by this all in all. And they don't believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah either. They never have. They actually hate Christians like me and you, white Christian men. They want to actually kill us. They could if they would if they could. So we're not standing behind that anymore. We're not fucking getting down with that. And we're going to call that out. We're going to name it and we're going to shame it. And all of these influencers who are part of this or complicit in that and pushing that bullshit message and trying to destroy this country, just to let you know, there will be consequences to your actions. And you will be dealt with later accordingly.
You will be known as a traitor.
Absolutely. A traitor, a treasonous. Because when the America First movement gets to where it needs to get to, because it will eventually get there, it's only getting bigger and stronger.
Yep.
And when we finally take over the GOP altogether, because it's GOP for a reason. It's a Groyper's occupied party. It's America fucking first, bitch. So once all of these white ass niggas going hard as fuck, we claim what's ours, rightfully so, and we claim the Republican Party. All of you fake bitches that were fucking thinking it's cool to fucking stand behind Israel and push Jewish influence, and you didn't stand with us in the beginning. Oh, you'll be welcomed in. But before you're welcomed in, you're going to be fucking named, you're going to be shamed, and you're going to be put on fucking blast, and the spotlight's going to be shined on you.
You're going to be taking out the trash.
I'm telling you now, Chance, this is going to happen. What's going to happen eventually is America First is going to get so popular to the point where any of these people that are still supporting Trump, and I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't already happening, people are going to start going into these people's live streams and they're going to be fucking calling them out. And they're going to be fucking shaming them. They're going to be naming them. It's already happening now. So pick the side of good, not the side of evil. And don't be a fake fucking bitch. A fake little faggot establishment Republican. Be a fucking actual human being. Understand what we're dealing with. Understand what we're up against here. We're up against good and evil. And Nick Fuentes is not a racist. He's not a fucking anti-Semite. He's none of these things you label him as, because, you know, all this stems from is jealousy at the end of the day from a lot of these people. They wish that they could have what Nick has. They wish they could talk as well as Nick. And it's just pure jealousy at the end of the day. These people are fucking besides themselves, because if you actually take the time out to go watch Nick and see what the America First movement is about, I dare you to go watch a full episode of Nick. Watch the entire show, or go watch some of his old shows, not just a 10-second fucking clip. And I guarantee you, you will be surprised like you've never been surprised before. And you will actually be like, wow, I actually agree with this guy. And I think that that's what they're afraid of at the end of the day, that they are going to agree with him. So these people are just fucking idiots. Is Nick live yet?
They're weak and they're cowards. They're sellouts. They'll sell us all out for their daddy's money. And they're just dumb. They're, like I said, it goes back to like that Tony Montana clip I was telling you about. It's like,
oh
they're
shit,
the fat, weak, dumb idiots that are in power right now. And the working class white ass niggas are coming up and saying, no, we are done. You have sold us out. You suck at your job. No, sorry, mister.
Look who's live, bro.
You suck. What?
Look who's live.
Oh, okay. Let's do
You
it.
want to watch? Do you want to watch him live?
Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm gonna switch my camera though, so that way I
Or
don't
should we live stream his show on top of it?
Why not?
All right, fuck it. We'll make some clips too.
Yeah, we can like
on
react.
which we decide whether you're guilty or innocent. But that is all
Oh, it's freezing up for me.
together different than how we look at a country of 330 million people. It is also different than how we look at different ethnic organizations, ethnic lobbies. For example, when we look
It's freezing up a little bit. He's got 50,000 people watching him.
Yeah,
Holy
because on
shit.
YouTube, people on YouTube don't get Nick Fuentes. So if
we
someone's
see a
watching
person who
YouTube,
is
then,
married
they'll get
to an
Nick.
Israeli,
That's kind of cool.
we see somebody who lives in a
Welcome,
Jewish
YouTube.
enclave in Florida. He actually moved there to be surrounded by other people like him. He created a website that is exclusively dedicated to supporting the Jewish state. And he will call out and attack anybody that does not support the interests of that Jewish state. Now, if you say that as a Jew, Ben Shapiro clearly has an ethnic, tribal allegiance and affinity to his fellow Jews in America and the world, that as a Jew, he actually has a national allegiance to the state of Israel. Are you telling me that that's a form of blood guilt? Is that immoral? Does that contradict the foundations of our religion? I don't think so. Because it is completely different to say that when we are judging somebody in a court of law for a crime, that we treat them as an individual, than to say that we can never judge anybody as part of any group, that we cannot meaningfully group people together in any way. Because, of course, we do the latter all the time. We always group people together. We group people together by age, when we go to school, when we talk about the generations, boomers, millennials, Generation Z, Gen Alpha. We group people together by sex, male and female bathrooms, male and female sports, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. When you're doing your Christmas shopping for him, for her, we group people together, yes, by race. When you commit a crime, let's say, for example, and you call the police, or you're a victim of a crime, how do you describe the person that committed the crime? Well, you describe all of their attributes, all of those characteristics. You describe their race also. And in prison, even, people group themselves together by race. The blacks go with the blacks, the Hispanics with the Hispanics, the whites with the whites. People do it all the time. What do we do during the census other than measure the proportions and the quantities of different groups of people? And it is only natural, and it's actually necessary for the maintenance of a society that we make observations and draw conclusions and maybe even create patterns about the different groups of people. And this is why we then profile people. So, for example, it happens to be a fact that the majority of violent crime is committed by a very, very tiny fraction of the population. And it's not even 13%. It's more like 2%. The vast majority, maybe not the vast, but certainly the majority of violent crimes are committed by young, Black, adolescent men. Men of a particular age cohort, men of a particular race, and concentrated in a number of cities. That is who is committing the crimes. If you are in Chicago and it is late at night and you encounter a 19-year-old Black man dressed a certain way, what conclusions might you draw about that person? What information might that give you? What connotations do you have based on that? And how might that help you live your life? Similarly, it is so with the Jews. If there are Jewish people in media, like a Barry Weiss, like a Ben Shapiro, and they are Jewish, and they live in Jewish communities or Jewish cities, and they have a particular affinity for Israel, what can we conclude about this? Something is going on here. Groups are real. Peoples are real. And we may be individuals in a courtroom, but that's maybe the only place where we're ever individuals. And that's because a courtroom is one of the only places that resembles heaven. Because what happens when you die? You face a judgment. You stand before a judge, you hear your charges, and then you receive your sentence. And so the only place in the world is an American court. That is the only place where you're considered an individual. And that's the only place where individualism maybe has any meaning, where you will stand alone before an expert who will hear all the facts before a jury, and you'll receive your consequences. You'll receive your punishment. But outside the courtroom, you are a son or a daughter of a mother and father, and you received their genetics, their behaviors, their looks, their attributes. Maybe you were raised by your parents. And through the transmission of nurturing, you're receiving other things also. You're a sibling, you're a cousin, a grandson, a granddaughter, you're a constituent, a resident of a particular place in a particular time, eating particular food, drinking particular water, breathing air. And yes, those things actually tend to matter also. In a climate, in an environment, speaking a certain language, all of those things imprint upon you. The idea that we cannot draw conclusions based on those things, the idea that as a society, we cannot make decisions about peoples and their values, their customs, their behaviors, which are all documented, which are all observed thoroughly. The idea that we cannot record and measure those things, create insights and conclusions based on those things, and use those insights to inform how we as a society should move, that is called liberal ideology. Liberal ideology. Of course, we can do these things. Of course, we can take groups of people. We can measure them according to qualitative and quantitative characteristics. We can observe and measure their behaviors. We can map them out, create patterns. And we as a society can make decisions about what is best for the continuity and maintenance of our civilization. Of course we can. And there's nothing immoral about that. There's nothing evil. It doesn't contradict our religion. Stop giving me the speech about blood guilt. We have to retire that. Point me to the person who is saying all Jews are guilty by blood and they all have to pay. Point me to who is saying that. I don't know who's saying that, because whoever is saying that, they certainly have a far smaller platform than I do, because I haven't heard of that person. We have heard this speech over and over and over again. Blood guilt. We're Christian. We're individuals, blah, blah. Okay, point me to the person that is saying every Jew, by virtue of being born Jewish, is going to pay for the sins of all Jews. I don't know who's saying that, but it's not me, and it's not Tucker, and I don't know that anybody is saying that with any kind of platform. And what this sounds like to me is a little bit of a shoehorn. It's a little bit of a Trojan horse to get us to reject identity politics. And that's exactly where the speech goes. It goes on. This is just one segment. He says, we're only individuals. Okay. He says, so anti-Semitism is not just naughty, it's immoral. Oh, good. Thank you for telling me. And it is precisely as immoral as hating any other group. That includes other groups in the United States that are hated and have been under attack for decades, including, white men who did nothing to become white men. They were born that way. Just because you have a beef with a white man, let's say Donald Trump, doesn't mean you get to punish all the rest of the white men in the country. And yet our leaders have for more than 10 years engaged in a systematic effort to hurt white men because they are white men. That is racism. It is precisely as bad as anti-Semitism, but it is far more widespread and so far has been much more damaging. My point is this. If you said nothing about that, or if you are encouraged, or if you encouraged it by cheering on BLM, which was an anti-white hate group, then you have no moral standing to lecture me about bias. I guess I would say to the many organizations now trying to lecture the rest of us about hate, it is enough to simply point out the irony. Come to our side, which is the side of humanity, and oppose all hate against all people. Say out loud, hate against whites is every bit as bad as hate against Jews. Either it's a universal principle or it's not a principle at all, just a preference. If it's not universal, it isn't a principle, it's identity politics. And we've had enough of that. That is the one thing that will destroy this country. Identity politics are the one thing that will destroy the country. Now, let's contrast the two speeches. Ben Shapiro gets on the stage and says, everyone who is an enemy of Israel is a moral imbecile and refuse and trash, and they should be called out and canceled and deplatformed and destroyed, and no one should listen to them. They're a waste of everyone's time. Shapiro said that as a Jew on behalf of Jews in defense of Israel. Tucker Carlson was one of the people called out. He gets up on the stage and for 20 minutes gives a speech about how anti-Semitism is evil. Anti-Semitism is bad. I'm not an anti-Semite. And here's why I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm not just saying that. It's not because I have donors. It's because it's evil. And it's evil because of my religion. And it's just as bad as hating anyone else. And it's so bad. Tucker gives a 20-minute speech talking about how anti-Semitism, which is a made-up word, it's not a real thing, gives a 20-minute speech defending himself from the accusation, claiming he's not an anti-Semite, and going further, and here's why I'm not an anti-Semite, here's why it's so evil. And then, little twist, pleading with Jewish groups like the ADL, pleading with them, saying, if the shoe were on the other foot, that's always white man's move. The double standard, the ADL says anti-Semitism is bad. Well, what about when white people are being treated badly? Well, what about us? You're the real haters. Is that the playbook we're running? DR3, Democrats are the real racists, Jews are the real racists now? They call us anti-Semites and I'm not, and that's so evil, but you're the real anti-white people. He actually invites the ADL to our side. He says, will you call out anti-whiteism where we don't hate anybody? Really? Let me tell you something about the ADL. The ADL is a hate organization. They do hate us. It is a Jewish group. The Anti-Defamation League was founded by the B'nai B'rith Society 100 years ago. Direct connections to Israel. B'nai B'rith and the ADL at this point, they both have direct connections to Israel. ADL was created explicitly to defend Jews and ultimately later then to defend Israel. And it was groups like ADL and the American Jewish Committee and American Jewish Congress which defended civil rights law. They took Christianity out of the schools. They took Christianity out of the government buildings. They forced racial integration. They fought for the Hart-Celler Act against national origins quotas and immigration law so that people could come from all over the world to the United States because it's fair. And then the ADL twisted the knife, supported affirmative action, explicitly anti-white policies. They started then to support mass migration because defeating white people became an end in and of itself. They hate us. They hate white people. As long as America is a white country, a mostly white majority, all white country, Jews will feel insecure. If America is a non-white country, where it is a mosaic of different ethnic enclaves and racial diversity and religiously pluralistic, then the Jews feel very safe because they will be the most powerful tribe out of a country split between many different tribes. And they can play one off of the other. And this is what they say. This is their goal. It's been their goal. Shapiro's no different. Shapiro says that Europeans have anti-Semitism in their DNA, or at least many of the people that he's employed have said that, like Josh Hammer and Aaron Bandler and Elliot Hamilton. They've all said basically the same thing. Europeans are inherently Jew haters. They have a problem with white people in themselves. Now, picture this. Shapiro, who hates whites, the ADL, which hates whites, this pro-Israel movement, which hates whites, it gets up in a white convention. It's all whites for the most part at this convention. The GOP is 90% white. The country's 65% white. They get up in the white party, the white convention, the remnant in our white country, and they declare war against the white people. And they say, we're pro-Jew. And if you're not pro-Jew, you're garbage. You're evil. You're terrible. You're an anti-Semite. And a white person gets up, Tucker Carlson, who's called out, and he says, anti-Semitism is evil, and I'm not one, and here's why, and being anti-white's just as bad as anti-Semitism. We should hate nobody. And in the end, what does Tucker Carlson say? Because I want you to pay attention to this. This is the last part from this excerpt. He said, either it's a universal principle or it's not a principle at all. If it's not universal, it's identity politics. And we've had enough of that. That is the one thing that will destroy this country. That's the one thing that will destroy the country, identity politics. I'll tell you what's destroying the country: mass migration. Mass migration from India, mass migration from Venezuela, from Mexico, from the Northern Triangle, from China, soon to be from Africa, from the Middle East. Identity politics is destroying this country. Wait till you see what 100 million people from the third world will do. Identity politics is destroying the country. Look at what black people did to Chicago. Look at what they did to Detroit. Identity politics is the only thing. Really? Jewish lawyers have done a number on the country. It was identity politics in principle, or was it other groups invading the United States, other groups taking over the United States and using the United States for the benefit of their tribe, their country, their native God? What's the real threat here? Is it identity politics in itself, or is it that every other group is invading this country? And they don't even call it identity politics. They just call it taking what they feel they are entitled to, taking their own side, doing what is best for them. And it is. It is best for Indians to colonize the United States and to bring their fellow caste members here. It is in the best interest of Africans to come here and bring Islam and bring from Africa. It is in the best interest of black people to militate for reparations and to stop police from arresting their people because they can't stop committing crimes. They're doing what is in their interest as a group. And as I said before, now that white people are starting to take our own side, now that white people are getting up and saying, you know what, we don't want any more immigration. We don't want any more Indians. We don't want any more Haitians or Somalians. We don't want these people here. We don't need them. They're not making our country better. They're not like us at all. And we don't want to be outnumbered by them. And we certainly don't want to be ruled by them. We don't want our children to be ruled by them. Now, people like Tucker get on stage and tell us to pump the brakes. Well, the worst thing that could happen is if white people played identity politics. I could think of a million things worse for this country than white people playing identity politics. Starting with and including mass migration and another war for Israel. How about that? Identity politics is the one thing that'll destroy the country. I could think of a million things before white identity politics is a problem and not the solution to what is happening. But this is the picture, which is that one group is willing to get on the stage and defend their own people. One group is willing to get on the stage and do what is best for themselves. For Shapiro to call everybody out, is that good for the Republican Party? No. Is that good for Turning Point? No. Who is that good for? That is good for people that care about Israel. To reassert the chilling effect, cancel culture, censorship, that is good for people that care about Israel. It is bold, it is audacious, it is polarizing. But he'll do it because that is who he defends. The white man gets up and makes these apologies, talks about double standards. I don't hate anyone. I'm not a Jew hater. I'm really a good guy. And the one thing that could ruin America is if I took my own side. So who's really more disappointing there? Who's the real enemy, actually? Is the real enemy Ben Shapiro? Now, strictly speaking, he is the alien. He is the outsider. Strictly speaking, he is the foreign presence in the bloodstream. And so by definition, yes, Ben Shapiro needs to be removed from Turning Point USA. Honestly, he should be removed from America, in my opinion. But who is actually more pernicious? I think it's somebody like Tucker Carlson. Because someone like Ben Shapiro takes the stage and we can point out, you are not like us. You don't look like us. You don't talk like us. You have a Brooklyn accent, but you're from LA. You're weird. Something isn't right here. It's visible. It's obvious. It's apparent. But someone like Tucker gets up, looks like us, talks like us, blue-eyed, little striking, doesn't really have much of a chin, kind of looks like a thumb, but that's okay. The hair is swept back, chooses in, okay. But he tells us, calm down, be complacent. He tells us, relax. It's not a big deal. Everybody just accept what is happening to the country. The only thing that will bring down the country is if we react too angrily, if we react too forcefully. It's a tale of two speeches there. So Tucker gives this speech about ideological liberalism. Well, we're all just individuals. There are no groups. There are no peoples. There's no blood guild. We don't hate anyone. And I invite the ADL to come to our side. You're a hypocrite if you don't. And identity politics is always evil. Oh, that's great. I wish we had a white man that would stand up for our people. I wish we had a white man who would stand up for our country, who would stand up for the American people that are being replaced, because they are. And people don't like to hear this talk. They don't like this chest beating as white people, the white man. But who else is it? Who created the Jamestown colony? Who landed at Plymouth Rock? Who settled the country 400 years ago? Who created the English colonies? Who fought in the Revolutionary War? Who wrote the Declaration? Who wrote the Constitution? Fought in the Civil War? Led the Industrial Revolution? Who were the Transcendentalists environmentalists? Who are the fireside poets? Who invented radio, television, railway, factories, the steam engine? Who fought in World War II? Who did all of it? White men. White men explored the world,
Hey, are you
circumnavigated the
getting a breakup
globe,
right now?
discovered this continent, planted a flag for
What'd you
Christ,
say?
planted a flag for Europe, planted a flag for Rome.
Is it breaking up for you
It
too?
was white men that tamed the wilderness,
Nah.
white men that
What is it? Lagging on your end?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Did you pause it?
Yeah, I paused it. I was trying to hear what you were saying.
Yeah, it's just lagging. It's like cutting out a little bit. It's fine. No.
Is it cutting out for anybody else? Somebody said, yeah, bad. Really?
He's talking a lot of good sense though.
Just
right now.
stopped?
Like
Okay.
not only did the white people do all those things, but we died doing those things. That's why if you see a black person on a plane saying, "Actually, we built this," no, you fucking didn't. We died
Shit.
building this shit.
I kind of want to see what this Alabama John is talking about. Apparently, somebody in the chat said he wanted to talk to us or talk to me, or I don't know. Somebody in the chat earlier said that. Somebody under the name.
You want to let him on? What do you mean talk to
How do
us?
we even get him in here? I don't even know. I don't even think you can do that on Rumble, can you?
Just add him to your.
You
on
would
your
have to.
stream?
He would have to click on the link from Restream
He
to
would just
join
send
us.
your email. Yeah, he would just send your email, and you send him an invite.
All right,
with his email.
let's pull his live stream up and see what he's talking about here.
Wait, is he
I don't know.
live streaming us? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Somebody came in here and said he wanted to talk to us. So I don't know if they were trolling or.
He looks
but
weird.
he did say he wanted to talk.
He looks really weird. To be honest with you, look at that. I'm
I don't
like,
know. I think he might just be trolling. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
All right, let's see.
Right about, I highly doubt that.
Oh, hell
I'll
yeah.
always be sneaking. Don't surprise me.
Elon Musk in the back.
I give you
Shocking
a
doesn't involve your sister. Sorry.
Roman salute, brother.
Have you enjoyed the gameplay? Maybe I will. What kind of what kind of games do you normally play? Maybe my chat will go fuck with it. We don't play a lot of
Damn,
games. We
52
play a little bit of
holy
games over
shit,
here on the
300
stream, but it's
views?
rare.
Bro, this dude's got
Hell
emotion,
yeah, organic
bro.
Andy. I think Kyle is taller than you. Well, how tall is he? Because I don't think he is.
Oh, we have to join his live.
And the only reason I say that is because I'm super fucking tall.
That's what this guy's about.
No, he's gonna have to shake his own bed. How many Texases do you live in? Fuck you talking
I don't know.
about?
I just met
That's confusing.
You guys
What
wanna
the
go
fuck
over
is
to
a
his chat?
Texases?
and say, we heard you wanted to talk to us.
How do you circumcise a hillbilly? Kick his sister in
I've
the
never
jaw.
heard of
That's
this
what-
guy though. The Marshall Tucker Band.
that's
Is
funny.
that
I
a
haven't heard
song
that
he's
one.
playing in the background?
What's your email? We have a stream
What's-
link if you want to talk. I'm down to talk, but like, damn, why you need my email? I don't got like a stream email. You could join my Discord, bro. Join my Discord, and then I can send you the email on Discord or something. Hold on, I got you, dog.
Why are so many people watching this guy?
Here.
not trying to.
He's
get
probably got a
Join
big
the old
audience.
Discord, dude.
He's built
What's
it.
happening,
He's built it brick by
Siri?
brick.
I'm willing to collab. I don't mind.
Members? I don't really know.
What's his name on Discord? What'd he say?
What's up, dude? Thanks for the follow. Need
I just joined his Discord, so
You're gonna message him?
yeah.
open for a panel, son. What?
Wait, 'cause you could add people to your to this live, right?
Didn't you play Beans on Even Stevens? I don't know what Steve Stevens is, dude.
Yeah, but he has to click on the link if he wants
Hey,
to
let's
come in and
go.
join us. Like I sent you the link.
Oh.
Let's go. The brand radio, dude. Thank you
Well,
for the
just send him
fucking
the link and be like, join our
raid, brother.
live.
We really appreciate that
For
shit.
watching Nick and because he's gonna want us to join his live because he's got a lot of views.
Hell yeah.
How can we
Oh, it's
join
all
his live,
happening.
bro?
Let's go.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna get him to come in here. I got it.
You know, ever since Rumble made it to where you had to raid people to stay in the creator program, I've been getting a lot more
You
raids.
could probably do
to be
his
honest.
live and our live at the same time, huh?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Beans type shit. This is the best stream on our way. Whoa.
Nick was
Oh, yeah, I don't know
cooking,
about
bro. I love when Nick goes
I'm
back.
gonna go follow
and
the
talks
Red
about
Radio
white.
real quick because I'm not following them. I'm following now, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go, W.
Because nobody talks about that.
We'll see
Like,
if he
every
joins.
politician that goes mainstream that somewhat hints to whiteness always goes back on it every time.
We'll see if he joins. I just sent him a invite on Discord. That's really, I mean, that's probably the best way to do it, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Through Restream. Because then we could just have them join into the live, and we're already live right now, so it doesn't take much work.
Yeah, and,
And then all he has to do is share his screen.
Yeah, and he can still do his live, right?
Yeah. See what he's talking about.
Do you have an InfoWars shirt on?
Yeah.
You watch?
Yeah,
InfoWars?
I got it a while back. It's a good. I like Alex Jones. I think he's like a really prominent figure in the movement, big voice. And I just wish he would attack the Jewish influence or the Jew problem a little bit stronger. But I still love him.
Me too. I like him
probably-
too, but I think
Yeah.
he's a little weak. But you gotta think.
Yeah, at
he's
times,
not like
yeah.
a Nick Fuentes, of course. He doesn't have that power level.
Right.
But he had Nick Fuentes on, and he's older, so of course he's gonna do that. I think he's kind of a coward on race too. My big thing is race, you know. So, but he's good mostly.
Yeah. And I mean, I saw his show, I think it was today or yesterday. And some guy calls in and he starts crashing out. I could actually pull the clip up. I want to show you it actually.
He crashes out about Israel. Israel this, Israel that.
Yeah. Somebody brought up that, in fact. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It was yesterday's show he did. So some guy called in, he started crashing out. But yeah, man, that guy's got a lot of viewers. Damn.
Respect to that guy for having that many viewers.
I mean,
Or-
I've had thousands of people watching me at one point on here.
Wow.
But the problem is a lot of them don't talk in the chat. I don't know why. So let me see here. Where's this clip of Alex Jones at? Alex Jones. No, that's not it. Wait, what day would it have been? It would have been the 22nd. This guy calls in, he starts crashing out. I wanted to kind of like give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Okay, here's the 22nd. Is this the stream right here? This has got to be it.
And just on the line. Into this, but you want to. So he did a really frustrated. So they can dictate the terms of.
And
Oh, here it is.
Again, muddy the
Is
waters
this it?
to where people don't even want to believe anything that really is true. All this,
This Charlie
the abuse through that system.
It gets all the energy. Yeah, from everything I've studied about AI,
A voice and lure someone that they don't want to basically get followed by.
they just walk right out there. Stephen Miller, excuse me. I was one of these top Russian
Okay, that must have been the first call he took.
Just continue. Again, the toll-free number is 877. Stay welcome.
I'm running for District 7 in Southwest Missouri because
That's not the one.
Other than American,
they have statewide regulation. Be the voice and
never seen the skids where it gets all the perks rolled and
same thing with that situation. I'm actual real critics of the situation are
Do we ever know what happened when he got sued about the Sandy Hook stuff? Like,
and beating him with a hammer, he found famous.
Yeah, apparently they were trying to shut InfoWars down because that whole Sandy Hook shit. And you had all these deep state players going after him, and they took everything this guy has ever worked for to try and silence him. Over like $1 billion, I believe they're trying to get out of him, which is fucking crazy, bro. Over free speech. Like, it's like, come on. Have we really gotten to a point of like, we're going to start suing people for shit they're saying online now?
oh yeah.
It's fucking retarded. I mean, the First Amendment right is supposed to protect you from things like that. And the most important part about the First Amendment right would be that you're supposed to protect free speech you disagree with, or speech you disagree with the most importantly. That's the whole purpose of it, to protect speech you can't stand.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're fucking coming after Jones is insane, man. All over that. They've been saying that he's been saying the studio is going to be shut down. They're going to come any day. But I don't know what's happening with that. I thought they were coming in to seize his entire building, all of his equipment. I thought this was going to happen like a couple of months ago. So I bought a bunch of shirts and shit.
Yeah,
so
and all of a sudden things change. What happened?
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but
yeah, it's just suspicious.
it's kind of weird. I do agree.
What I mean, it sounds like a movie. That if one
I want to play this call where he crashes out.
It was all this and I mean, it's like on the side. It's even any books I'm going to write. They're book law. But
where is it? Is he going to take the next call or what? Jesus Christ.
Look at here. Look.
Sorry, guys. I'm just looking for this.
As that was the
essential push defending
we're trying to find the crash out.
millions and
maybe it's not this. Maybe it was the other show he did.
thoughts on all this?
Oh, here it is. It's right here.
Benny can be right now.
Listen to this.
All right, let's go back to the
Tell
calls.
me if you think this is weird.
Appreciate holding. Benjamin in Nevada, you're on the air. What about Israel-Iran conflict? Go ahead.
Okay, well, first of all, if you want to talk about heroes, I think Thomas Massey's probably one of the only heroes we have in this country right now. And I don't know if you agree or disagree. But as far as the whole Iran-Israel thing goes, if you look into Jewish prophecy, it seems like the whole New World Order thing is in perfect lockstep with fulfilling the Jewish prophecy. And we've researched this over here at RealAmericanPatriots.com. And what we're seeing is, if you connect the dots, you see people like Miriam Addison. And, I mean, what are your thoughts on all this? Because the Israel-Iran conflict looks to me like it's trying to fulfill more of the Jewish prophecy. And it all ties in with Saudi Arabia also, if you understand what I'm talking about. I know you do. You know, the whole 9/11 thing. So don't you think that this all ties together? And, you know, guys like Ryan Dawson, when I've seen him over the years, it just seems like something's not right here. Would you agree or disagree?
You got to Remind me, who's Ryan Dawson?
Who's Ryan Dawson? He's the guy that did the biggest thing on 9/11.
Going from memory.
I'm sure your listeners know who he is. If they don't, they will now.
No, it rings a bell.
Well, okay, well, let's get by that. Let's go to people like Miriam Madison with not only, let's say, AIPAC, which the
Do you think
Republicans
this
and
guy's
Democrats
fucking
both do,
retarded?
right? Okay, well, you think you have a bozo like Mike Huckabee that you're sending over there. I mean, do you see what's going on here? It seems like the whole Jewish prophecy thing is trying to be fulfilled with the New World Order, and this is where you can sugarcoat it any way you look at it. But this is what's real news, and this is what's really going on, and it falls into the same category where you have to respect our, like we're infidels, and I'm just not good with that, because anybody that's an American patriot, should really be behind America first, not any other thing first, and it's not trying to.
No,
make
I mean,
friends.
I hear you.
We control the world, Alex, and it's not right.
Just saying, Israel controls the world over and over again. Do you guys think if you say that mantra, it'll like make it go away, or like what?
There's got to be a solution to the problem. What's the solution? That's what I'm asking.
I mean, you're on air. You're not censored. Keep talking about Israel. No, give us solutions. Keep talking about Israel. Go ahead.
That's what I'm asking you.
I want you to tell me. I think if you just say Jew over and over again, it'll make them melt.
I don't know. See, this is where people are getting it twisted. The Jewish prophecy is running hand in hand with the New World Order, and Donald Trump is walking us into it.
Okay, well, tell me about the Jewish prophecy, please.
If you look at everything that's been going on in the world, you have to follow the Talmud. Right? You know what the Talmud is?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, when you're connecting the dots here, it's pretty obvious to see. Now you see rabbis coming out all over the world talking about basically us creating a war with the Muslims, and then, I don't know, are they going to come in and be the good saviors here? This is what I don't understand, man. And I'm not.
Well, I
being
appreciate your call.
being,
You keep saying It's a weird speech pattern, because I didn't screen your call. I was happy to talk to you. Want to hear about Israel? All you want to talk about it. And you would just say, I don't know. Well, tell me. Well, come on. I don't understand here. I appreciate your call. Yes, I know about the Talmud. I know about some of the sects of the rabbis that say they're going to have the Muslims and Rome. We're the new Rome. Asa and Ishmael kill each other. And yeah, I know all that. So we just said it again. I can just repeat it over and over again. People always call me I'm going to talk about Israel. I can't believe this is getting out. It's like it's like we found Dad's Playboy magazines or something, and we've really, got it here. And I'm not mad at you. It's just it's always those calls. It's like, is it all right? It's like, I'm just like, it's just, that's where I'm at here. Is that he's like, and you can sugarcoat it all you want. I'm not sugarcoating shit. I mean, if I wore a Hitler uniform and came up here and said, I love Nazis and I want to kill all the Jews, we'd make $10 million a year. And I'd be flying around a giant private jet right now, okay? That's where everybody is, because people are so sick of the system and sick of the corruption and sick of political correctness that all that's over, okay? And today you've got J.D. Vance saying, it's okay to be white. If you said that 5 years ago, 3 years ago, you'd be debanked, okay? If you put up those posters, while whites are being demonized, the police would try to find you and arrest you. All I'm saying is the pendulum's swinging so far the other way now that Alex Jones is seen as moderate. And the reason that happened is the left is saying whites are inherently evil, Christians are inherently evil, the West is bad, you never invented anything. And that is the globalists, Islamicists, a bunch of the Jewish lobby, leftist Jewish lobby, all that, they're doing it. But the Catholic Church is on board with the Pope, promoting all the same crap. I don't want to hear about Europe's Christian roots. I don't want to hear about not bringing in the Muslims. Well, you bring them in Vatican City. And so people are completely sick of it. Me, you said, the Jews control the world. It was so exciting to say it, like it was like a taboo, and you're going to fire the photon torpedo down the reactor shaft and blow up the Death Star, and finally, it's away. It's like, God, it impacted on the surface. Israel loves to get attacked because that makes the Jews get all scared and give their leadership more money. It doesn't do anything. I'm simply trying to oppose the policies of the globalists, the policies of BlackRock, the policies of the Chi-Com, policies of Israel trying to control our internal politics. Then they just say, you don't control internal politics. And I don't get all emotional about it and, bells and whistles about it and all the rest of it. But communist China has broken away from the globalists. It's a major power block.
I mean,
then you've got the technocracy that you can say is Jewish or whatever. A lot of it is, but it's just transhumanist and satanic. And it's just, my point is, I can literally post something about a vaccine being a poison or literally a plane
this
crash or
Alabama
something.
John
And it's
wanted
like,
to talk to us.
just Jew. And if people think just
Come on.
doing that,
Or let's. Is he
I mean, if
gonna-
I thought
come on.
we can bring down
sent
corruption
him
and
an
save the
invite.
world, if I wrote on a chalkboard, Jews bad 5 million
I
times,
don't know
I'd
what
do
the
it.
fuck's going on.
This
My
right
only
here, Nick
issue is,
Fuentes.
we'll talk about it over and over.
this
It's
is
Jew,
a
Jew,
testament
Jew,
to
Jew,
Nick
Jew, doesn't do
Fuentes
anything.
right here. 100%.
This is what?
It's a testament to Nick Fuentes and what he's been doing for sure. It's like because
Oh,
Alex
yeah.
Jones can't post anything without everyone being like the Jews because Nick Fuentes exposed them so hard.
Yeah. And he's like saying how it's the Chi-Cons. We got to worry about the Chi-Cons the most, the Chinese, the globalists. It's like, dude, yeah, that's all true as well. But the Jews are like literally number one right now. They are the main priority. They are the problem that needs to be neutralized altogether. That's got to be handled ASAP
The funniest
because
thing is, he said if I was a Nazi and I would be driving around in a private jet and JD Vance coming out and saying that it's okay to be white, you would have been canceled. So now Alex Jones is a moderate. That is too funny.
but I will give him his props because, like, he did go live on show in a fucking Nazi uniform with a Hitler mustache. Do you remember that? So
Just
I mean,
funny that he's frustrated.
that's based. That's based. I mean, that shows that he's on our side.
Yeah.
But
it's just funny that he's frustrated. That, like, think about it. He spent his whole life building up this persona of being kind of the fringe, right? This, like, I'm going to say what needs to be said. And now,
Right.
because of the movement, he's kind of been pushed to the moderate side. And he's like, everyone's like mad at him because he's not too fringe enough, or he's like not hardcore enough. And he's like, what's going on here? I was the Alex Jones, the crazy guy. Now I'm the moderate. Now I'm the weakling. Like, what?
it's true, man. He's got to be much stronger on the Jewish influence. He's got to fucking hit it hard, man. It needs to be fucking nailed. But he's getting a little soft in his age, man. And I think he needs to start hanging around Nick more.
Yeah.
Because anytime Nick comes on and does a show with him, I mean, he agrees with him 100%. So,
Yep.
but he's constantly telling Nick, well, you think Trump's done? You think it's over for MAGA? What should he do? Is he really done? And then he goes the next day talking about Trump again. It's like, dude, fuck Trump. I don't care what he's done this week. That's not breaking news to me. I don't give a fuck about that.
Mhm.
Dive in deeper. What's going on with the Epstein files? He sat down and had allegedly Thanksgiving dinner with Jeffrey Epstein in the fucking White House or Mar-a-Lago or wherever it was.
Yeah.
When those emails got released, Nick did a whole fucking...
In 2014.
Oh, that was 14. I thought it was after he got elected.
Oh.
Nick was saying after he got elected, he had
that's right.
Thanksgiving
That's right.
dinner.
Yeah, 2000. So it'd be 2016. Yeah.
I think 17.
Or 17. Yeah.
But
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not because that was never really
Well,
confirmed. but
that's what they said because the email.
It was in the emails.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, I would say it
you
happened.
have to assume.
So-
And Trump lied. He lied. Said that he discontinued contact with him like way before, like in the 90s.
Dude, I actually have that clip. I can play it.
Yeah. Let's
Hold
play
on.
that so we can.
Where is it? Trump had Thanksgiving
I mean, that's
dinner
a
with
big deal.
Epstein.
Like that's not nothing. That's like really big.
Oh yeah. Where's the video? Trump lied.
Show that
No,
to
is
your
this it?
MAGA neighbor. You know.
Here it is.
Tells the FBI, go through the files, look for my name, because he knows it's there. They tell him it's there. In July, this is the best part. Bibi Netanyahu visits the White House for the third time on 7/7/2025. I'm not making this up. Google the timeline. On July 7th, 7/7/25, add 2 + 5. I'm not a numerology guy, but it's a little weird. In his third visit on 7/7 to celebrate bombing Iran, Netanyahu visits the White House. And the day before he arrives, literally the day before, the DOJ announces there are no files, case closed, it's over. Trump, for 3 weeks, engages in damage control. He orders the Speaker of the House to close Congress so they don't get forced by Thomas Massie to compel the release of the files. And now here we are 4 months later after the longest shutdown in history, and we see there are files. Trump's name is all over them. He lied. And now 100 Republicans are going to defect and vote in favor of releasing the rest of the files next week. This is a crisis of Trump's own making. You have no one to blame but yourself. You can't blame your own base for asking you to do what you promised to do. You can't say that your base doesn't see the bigger picture or they're conspiracy theorists. If you played into that for years, which you did, the chickens have come home to roost now. They leaned into this stuff. They promised it. And you could say they bit off more than they can chew. Then you lied brazenly and openly. You tried to trick people. It didn't work. And now the chickens have come home to roost. And here's the issue. This goes to the center of what the Trump revolution is all about. And I've been saying this for weeks and months and years now. The whole idea behind Trumpism, fundamentally, Trump campaigned last year. All it is a big... Are you telling me that Donald Trump had Thanksgiving dinner with Jeffrey Epstein when he was the president? Are you kidding me?
Nick Live now?
That is what is in the file.
What'd you say?
Should we go back to Nick Live right now?
Yeah, we could.
Maybe go. Yeah.
Are we dropping views?
Yeah.
We're at 14. We're not doing too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
If that's what everybody wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hook my Instagram. We'll hook our Instagrams up to this live too next time, and we'll just go live, be live on everything: YouTube, Instagram, everything. And
I can't go live on Instagram anymore.
Oh, I wonder if I can. Guess we'll find out.
Hey, this is our country. No one's going to insult us. This is all for us. We're as American as anybody. Getting a little too comfortable. You should quit while you're ahead. You're here. You're living it up. You should quit while you're ahead. Because pretty soon there's going to be a lot less tolerance. There already is. And soon there'll be even less. Because the well is being tapped. How much more of this can people take? How much more humiliation? How much more of an insult can the people take? It's disgusting. Everybody knows the program. You come here, you learn the language, you assimilate. We've had far too many for far too long. It's time to shut it down. For them, it's not even good enough. Always more, no assimilation. White people never had anything to do with it. It's too audacious. So this is the Vivek Ramaswamy speech. Like I said, I think I'm going to go to Ohio. And the word that we're looking for is denial. We have to deny Vivek Ramaswamy the governorship. This is the only race I care about in 26. It's the only one I care about. people talk about, well, we got to keep the House and whatever. This is the race that I care about. This anchor baby cannot become the governor of Ohio. I don't care if it's a Jewish woman that wins. The anchor baby cannot become the governor of Ohio, because what kind of message would that send? That sends a message that you could say and do anything to white people. They'll tolerate any level of disrespect. White people tell themselves, well, I got to go and vote. I mean, what are we going to have, a Democrat? You're going to affirmatively vote for somebody that has told you that he owns your country. Your heritage means nothing. Your ancestry, the struggles of your ancestors means nothing. So what means anything to you? Seriously. Think about it. Your ancestors fought and died fighting the Indians, fighting in the Civil War, fighting in the Revolutionary War, fighting to even have this country. Someone comes here from India in the 80s, anchor baby, on a visa for like a tech company, and says, I'm just as American as you guys. I'm just as American as George Washington. You affirmatively vote for this person. He spits on the graves of your ancestors. What matters to you, actually? He's not even a Christian anyway. There'll be no Christmas in the Vivek Ramaswamy governor's mansion. They'll be celebrating Diwali. Could you imagine? No nativity scene, no Christmas carols, no consecration on the altar of Christ. No reverence for the newborn king on Christmas in Ohio. What a world. What does America come to? He has to be denied next year. So we'll be going out telling people, vote for a protest candidate, vote for the Democrat, vote for a third party, don't vote, vote for anyone else. Do not give the anchor baby your vote. Disgusting. And that's a message for Vance in 28. If Vance or anybody else wants to be president in 2028, we need to put on a little show for them in 2026 so that they can figure out how they want to play. That's the plan. The last speech I wanted to get into was J.D. Vance and his remarks about me. His are really kind of the least eventful. Speaking of Jeets, J.D. Vance called me out in some blog that I've never even heard of. It's called The Unheard. That's because no one's ever heard of it. J.D. Vance gave a line to The Unheard. The Unheard. I guess I know why they call it that. No one's ever heard of it. But he did a little interview for them. And the headline said, Nick Fuentes can eat shit.